Hello, this is TTT speaking. We are looking into the towing problems and solutions on the Nimitz today. I loaded quite a number of add-ons already in this one. There we have the CBA, the USS Nimitz, the FA-18, the maritime units for some flavor, the Tomcat, the requirement for the Tomcats, the air weapon system from Firewall, and from parallel the airfield logistics, which brings us tractors into the equation of towing. This is a unreleased run DLL modified towing script that I'm using here. I will make it available on Amaholic and on other means when it is available, when it is ready. It's now being tested, and once the testing is complete, we will release it. So we hop on Stratus. We will load a mission, one of the sample missions that I use for testing the Nimitz. There you see the central piece here is the towing script. The towing script is synchronized to a couple of units here. There is the traditional placebo tractor that we use, the unmanned ground vehicle, the Stomper. Then we have the parallel towing tractor that we can use. He has two. One is for bigger planes, this one is for the smaller planes. We have an unreleased alpha version of the C1 Trader. On this we have an FA-18, and we have two Tomcats, the War Dog and the standard Tomcat that we release. So we take a look at this, preview this mission. Yeah, you see one of the problems with the Trader is that the gear starts retracted and we need to pull it out first. Let's start with the UGV. I have synchronized this pilot, I think, that I'm in with the flight deck module, so the player automatically gets a UAV terminal assigned. So here we are now on the unmanned ground vehicle. We started. Go back and forth, and hopefully we can attach the vehicle. I haven't really figured out why it's 2 times attached vehicle, probably because Parallel Scripts does something similar. Probably it's a programming mistake on my part on the Nimitz. I will figure it out. Yeah, now we can tow the F-14 to the elevator, for example. You have to be a little bit careful that you don't overdo it like I probably just did with turning, and then it's a little bit of a challenge to operate this script correctly. Okay, let's detach it. It's not perfect on the elevator, given that in the reality the elevators can hold 2 planes, but I guess if you can place 1 plane on it with this tractor script, then you're good to go already. So let's release the UGV controls, get out of here, take the very nice tractor from Parallel. I will add the Amaholic download link to the video. We can attach the vehicle even though we are not in the driver's seat yet. We can detach it as well. And now let's hop in as a driver. And you see the same as with the UGV, just with a little bit more dust at the moment. We can taxi the plane around. For example, we could put it here for a review later on. catch it, drive away. Yeah, there's a lot of dust coming out from this vehicle. I do not exactly know why, because I thought we had fixed the Nimitz so it wouldn't emit these dust particles, but there seems to be something wrong still. Now this is going wrong. Sorry for that. I'm not an experienced tractor driver, as you can clearly see. And now we made a mistake and exploded. This is one of the things that happens frequently. It's a bit unfortunate, but I was not perfectly aligned with the vehicle, and so something in the engine triggered that explosion. Sorry for that. Let's do a restart. Yeah, and we could give it another try, but let's not do it. I just show you quickly how to set up the missions. So we first start with a clear mission. We need a player. First, I will use the UAV operator. I will put it at 17.5 meters, which is roughly the flight deck height of the Nimitz. Then let's place the Nimitz. Here we are, ship's Nimitz, okay. So we have the player, we have the Nimitz on it. Now we need some planes. Let's try the one we just viewed, a Tomcat. Let's let it look to the left, and we give it an optimistic height of, let's say, 18 meters. This is well above the flight deck, and because I want to demonstrate something later on. Then we take the Super Hornet and maybe the Trader. If it works, we will see. It's prone to fall through the Nimitz with this. We take before we enter the mission, we need to add the towing module. We go to Nimitz. We go to Nimitz here. Add the towing. You see that debug is on by default. You probably want to set this to no, because you will get spammed with a lot of information, but it's also kind of funny to see it. So let's, for this test mission, let's enable the debug modules. Oh, we forgot the tractors, or I forgot the tractors. So we go to the cars, and we need the towing tractor, and we need the UGV. It's not in cars, it's an autonomous UGV Stomper. Here we go. Now we sync all of these units with the Nimitz towing module. If you want to use the script released by Parallel for his tractor, then you need to follow the README instructions of his, because yeah, I'm not covering this in this video now. Now here we are. We see we have our planes delivered. We have the debugging message of which I spoke earlier. We have a little bit of a problem. We see the UGV spawned down and the tractors spawned in the air, because we set it to 18 meters. These seem to look nicely. So what you usually do in Arma to initialize the vehicles on the Nimitz correctly is, for example, you could shoot at them, and then they will drop down on the floor if they were not on the flight deck yet. Here we are a little bit lost because this probably will not work. There's an alternative way which I just want to illustrate. If we use the set velocity command, we can give this vehicle a new speed vector and can, for example, say don't go forward, don't go left or right, and just go down. Of course, we need to tell what we want to set this velocity, so we can do that, use it in all of our init fields. Not sure if it will work for the stomper. Take a look again. Yeah, you see the movement in the planes everywhere, so it's probably not. It needs some refinement. I mean, maybe one was too big, but this is how you can force the vehicles on the flight deck. Let's see if we can maneuver this UGV tractor. Probably not. It's in the deck. I have honestly no idea why it spawns in the deck if it's here at 18. So let's try it with 19 for this vehicle. Now it looks much better. Open the UEV terminal again. Connect it. I know, maybe we need to use this plane. Let's see if we explode or not. This time it worked. Very nice. You see the cones where you see the axes from the simulation, the rear wheels and the front wheels and the connection. Let's pull it over to a catapult. It's really glitchy, as you can see. This is unfortunately I have not found a solution for this glitching of the attached vehicle. It's the problem with the set velocity command and set direction commands, and I do not really have an idea how to solve this yet. So that's it for the UGV. So you see it works with this trader. Let's park it besides the island. Let's hop on to the parallel tractor. Oh, that's a little bit close with the nose over the head, so maybe this needs some adjustments. And I try to angle it a little bit too tough, so and we died again. As you see, it's still experimental by and large. Yeah, I hope I have some better news in the future, but you see, this is how you can tow vehicles basically on the Nimitz, but it's probably more like a failed showcase right now. Over and out. Goodbye.